why do we specifically use the 3 weeks to learn about the Beis Hamikdash?
So first of all, the idea in general of learning about the Beis Hamikdash, there's a few aspects in it. The one aspect is one that it says in Gemara, is Minalon Davidnon Zecher LeMikdash. How do we know that we make a remembrance, a commemoration for the Beis Hamikdash? The Gemara learns from a pasuk. It says, Tzion hi v'doirish ein la. Tzion is one that there's no one who seeks her, and from there we see Michlal de Boi Drisha, that it's necessary to seek and to look out for Tzion, which means we have to remember it all the time. Part of remembering it is learning about it. In addition to that, there's a second reason, and the second reason is one that's brought in Rashi, in Tosfos Yom Tov, and in the Rambam, and that is by learning about the second Beis Hamikdash and learning about the measurements, etc. of the second Beis Hamikdash, we'll know, at least to an extent, how to build the third Beis Hamikdash when it comes time to build it. Like Rashi says in Yecheskel, so when the time comes, we should know how to build it, or like the Tosfos Yom Tov says, so that if it comes at the time, Mashiach may come right now, and there's not going to be anybody ready to build it if we didn't learn about it. The third reason is what the Rambam says, and the Rebbe in fact connects that the second and the third reason are connected to one another, and that is that it's not only to know how to do it, but actually when we learn about it, we're involving ourselves in the action as much as possible. The building of Beis Hamikdash is as if we're actually doing it. And as the Medrash says, that Yecheskel said to Hashem, why are you telling me all the measurements and the dimensions of the third Beis Hamikdash? Right now the Jewish people are in Galus. Wait until they leave Galus, and then I'll tell them the measurements of the Beis Hamikdash. And perhaps Yecheskel was basically telling the Eibishter, take the Yidden out of Galus. What are you giving them about the Beis Hamikdash? Now it's time for the Gula. Hashem said to Yecheskel, just because the Jewish people are in Galus, does that mean that the building of the Beis Hamikdash shouldn't happen? Tell the Jewish people, says Hashem to Yecheskel, let them go and get involved in learning the dimensions of the Beis Hamikdash, and I will consider it as if they were actually involved in building the actual Beis Hamikdash. Therefore, the Rebbe says, at a time when we're mourning the Beis Hamikdash is the strongest time to be involved in doing what we can to build it, and therefore we have to learn about building it so that it should be considered as if we're actually involved in building it. What better time is there for that than Bein HaMitzarim, the time when we're commemorating the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash? The Rebbe also took it to a further step in Tafshin Nun Aleph, on Shabbos, Parshas Balak, when the Rebbe said that in our time, because we're already on the doorstep of Mashiach, the learning about the Beis Hamikdash this year has to be in a completely different manner than it's been done previously. And now it has to be done in a way that we know it's not something which is happening later, eventually, but the next moment it will be important. And also that when we learn about it, it's just like learning about Mashiach, that by learning about it, we bring that reality into our lives. We begin to live with this reality of the Beis Hamikdash.